Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Om Saccidānandarūpāya kṛṣṇāyākliṣṭakāriṇe namo vedānta vedyāya gurave buddhisākṣiṇe. So, Saccidānandarūpāya kṛṣṇāyākliṣṭakāriṇe namo vedānta vedyāya gurave buddhisākṣiṇe. He is starting with an invocation. There are actually two invocations which are seen in most of the books. So this is the first invocation, which is what is taken as important for us. Saccidānandarūpāya, Sat Chit Ananda Rūpāya, Kṛṣṇāya Akliṣṭakāriṇe, namo vedānta vedyāya gurave buddhisākṣiṇe. Saccidānandarūpāya kṛṣṇāya. That is the first point we have to take. Saccidānandarūpāya kṛṣṇāya. This is a statement which establishes we call it Swarupa Lakshana, the inherent nature of establishing the inherent nature of the self. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, Saccidānandam Brahma. Instead of Saccidānandam Brahma, you call it Saccidānanda Krishna. You can call Brahman with any name, whether you want to call it Paramatma or Parameshvara or Shunya, even where there is no association with the creation. Shunya doesn't even matter. Non-dual, one self. Krishna, fine. But this Krishna is not the other Krishna which we worship. So devotees should understand this, that here we are talking about the non-dual self and not the duality. Because just because Bhagavan Bhashyakara has commented upon the Vishnu Sahasranama, which is so great, Vishnu Sahasranama, even the Advaitin talks about, don't bring in him to this low level. Whatever Bhagavan Bhashyakara wrote is Advaita. There is nothing in something that which is below the Advaita standards. Nothing. So here he is talking about a Saccidānandarūpāya adjective, Kṛṣṇāya adjectified. If you are going to take, see, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma is neither taken as an adjective of each other, then the final. Satyam is adjective for Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Jnanam is Satyam Jnanam is adjective for Anantam Brahma, and Satyam Jnanam Anantam for Brahma. No. We are not accepting the adjective, adjectified, adjectivized or adjectified relationship, because when you say adjective and adjectify, immediately there is a problem. The first problem is there is duality. There is adjective, there is adjectified, duality. The second problem is, if you understand what an adjective is, then you will understand what the problem is. What is adjective? Adjective is immediate. There is adjective which is different from adjectified, not duality, immediately established. But if you understand what an adjective is, then you will understand more. What is an adjective? Adjective is itara vyavartakatva. Adjective is defined as itara vyavartakatva, that which differentiate itself from others. That is what is adjective is for. When you say lotus, then you have no questions. Lotus, lotus. But if I say blue lotus, then there is a question. Blue lotus, then what other lotus are there? White lotus, red lotus. So blue lotus, I have to say. So there are other lotuses, white, blue, red, etc. Therefore, you give an adjective to lotus. Similarly, if there are other Krishnas, other Brahmans, then you have to definitely give adjective. But there is one non-dual self, there is no adjective possible. Understand? See, with respect to Rama, when you say Rama, which Rama? Why? There is Dasharatha Rama, there is Bala Rama, there is Parashu Rama. There are different Ramas. Which Rama are you talking about? There is a problem. So, similarly, here, which Krishna? There is only one Krishna. There is no doubt here, non-dual. But Satyam Jnanam Anantam, Saccidānandam does not fit that form of Krishna, because we are talking about the Saguna Sakara, attributed someone with form. That Krishna is not we are talking about here when we say Kṛṣṇāya. If you have confusion, remove the Kṛṣṇāya, Brahmāya. Actually, Brahmāya you can say for understanding. So, what is this Sat, Chit, Ananda which we are giving so much of importance? It's all independently definition for Krishna. Sat Krishna, Chit Krishna, Anandam Krishna, like that. Each one of them is a definition for Brahma, Krishna. How so? First, what is Sat? Sat means Satyam. Satyam means Trikala Abadhyatam. That which is not negated in all three periods of time is Satyam. And the Krishna which you talk about is a no more now. He was born in an Ashtami. We celebrate Krishna Janma Ashtami. And he died. He was killed using an arrow. Somebody saw Krishna was sitting peacefully under the tree with his legs stretched, and somebody saw from distance his stretched leg, the thumb and the next big finger. That looked like a deer's ear. So somebody struck a arrow. That's the curse. So he was also killed. So he was born and he died. Therefore, he cannot be Sat. Sat means Trikala Abadhyatam, that which is not negated in all three periods of time. This person didn't exist before, then he didn't exist later. So he cannot be in all three periods of time. He cannot be said to be in all three periods of time. Chit means Jnana. Chit Kṛṣṇāya. Jnana. And Krishna had to go to Sandipani to study the knowledge, to gain knowledge. He had to go there. So, therefore, if you go and study before that, you didn't have knowledge, and later you had knowledge. That is what it means. So, it is very evident that this is not the Krishna we are talking about. And third, Ananda. Ananda is of three kinds of different states. One is a Priya, the other is a Moda, the third one is a Pramoda. Priya is when you see, Moda is when you gain, Pramoda is when you experience. So these three kinds of different levels of Ananda presuppose there are limitations. Priya Moda Pramoda means limitation. When the Krishna is among outside, like with form and all, then these kind of limitations are possible. But we are talking about Ananda, which is Ananta, unlimited. So, therefore, an Ananda, a bliss which is not tainted by the sorrow. That is the Ananda we are talking about. Kṛṣṇāya. And what more? Akliṣṭakāriṇe. We are making it very clear that this is not that Krishna, because Akliṣṭakāriṇe. Akliṣṭakāriṇe is something which is directly associated with the Saccidānanda. He removes the klishta, klesha, the troubles, the pains. What is the klesha? What is klesha? Klishta. Before understanding what is aklishta, we have to understand what klishta is. Klishta is according to the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, he says, avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhiniveshaha, kleshaha, pancha klesha. There are 5 kleshas. Avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha. Now, I will make it simpler for you. Avidya means ignorance. Okay? So, he removes the Akliṣṭakāriṇe means he removes that ignorance. Because he is a Chit Jnana. Only Jnana can remove the ignorance. Then, Aspita, raga, dvesha. Asmita means ego. Raga, dvesha means the desire and hatred. These take place because you find yourself in pain because of somebody and all that. Therefore, here we say it is Ananda. In Ananda, there is no gradation. Ananda, bliss, over. We are talking about that undiluted bliss, absolute bliss. Then he says, avidya, smita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha. Abhinivesha means fear of death. There is no need for any fear of death because it is Satya. Krishna is Satya. This Krishna we are talking about is Satya, truth. So, the Krishna you are devoted to doing bhakti is not the Krishna we are talking about here in this text. The Vishnu you are thinking about in the bhakti is not the Vishnu we are talking about in this text. That should be very clear. Because if you don't understand that, because that the primary canon, the first rule for Vedanta, understanding Vedanta is Vishayeshu dosham pashya. See the fault in the objects. You see anything, you should have to find faults with the object. Now I see Krishna as an object, therefore I am finding fault with that. If you say, I mean Krishna means that Brahman, then there is no issue for me. The first rule of Vedanta is Vishayeshu dosham pashya. Because only if you see faults in the objects, you will be able to gain the dispassion under the discrimination. So, Vishayeshu dosham pashya. Not for the devotees. Devotees have a different mindset. They can't see the defect. They should not see the defect also. I'll tell you. When I am explaining this in Vrindavan, long back, I was teaching Brahma Sutra, and in Brahma Sutra, the aphorisms on Brahman, the absolute, there can be no compromise. And I was doing it without any compromise. But there was this sannyasini, late sannyasini. So, very, very studious student. But the problem is, the devotion to Krishna was so much that she could not accept this non-dual teaching of Brahma Sutra. She was like little uncomfortable. I was trying to explain it again and again, but little uncomfortable. I could understand it. So I said, okay. I touched the book and I said, close the book and I said, okay. You think you are greatest devotee? Let me tell you for clarity that I have done more japa than you can think of in your whole lifetime. Okay, over. 1, 2. I have gained the result of the japa, which is the saccidānandarūpāya of the deity. Touching the book Brahma Sutra, I was saying this. Okay. Now, third, what is the greatest? I am a Vedanti, no doubt. What is the greatest? You think you are greatest devotee. What is the greatest state of a devotee? To gain the darshan, to gain the vision of the God. There is a place called Nidhivana in Vrindavan, where even today they make rangoli with flowers every evening. After evening 6 o'clock, they don't allow you. It's a beautiful forest, maintained forest. And after 6 o'clock, even the monkeys which are a menace in Vrindavan don't enter. So they will have this rangoli, and the story behind that is every night Krishna comes and does Rasa Lila. He dances with his gopis. That is what. And every next day morning you can see it disturbed, the rangoli getting disturbed. There it is not possible that the monkeys entered or nothing. They don't. This happen. And next to that place you can see some samadhis, burial headstones. What? The temple? Yes. These are people who came to see the dance, Rasa Leela, and after seeing Krishna, they popped off. I told them, if I am you, if I was a devotee, the first thing I would have done is gone there. Because what is the point in living after, if that is our goal, what is the point in waiting for that? When you can do it easily. Let us go tonight. I am ready to go. Are you? Then they started listening to Vedanta. The point is, even in Vrindavan, where they push this, but don't you accept Krishna? Then why are you writing commentary on Vishnu Sahasranama or in the Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavan Bhashyakara has written commentary. In the introductory Bhasha itself, Bhagavan Bhashyakara has very clearly said, Jata iva, Vyavaharavan iva, he is as though born, he is as though transacting. There is no real birth or transaction because there is nothing other than self. That is the rule. We don't accept anything other than the self. So everything which you see is as though existence and not real existence. For a devotee, this is difficult. Bhagavan himself says, Sambhavami yuge yuge. Every time I come to establish dharma, that is why we say Bhagavan Bhashyakara and Avatara, the Krishna and Avatara. All these avatars are as though born. They don't come, they don't go. They are always here. Self is always ever. So this is a different mindset than the devotee's mindset. For devotion, you need to feel, you need to see the devoted as something different from you for your worship, etc. So now, and the devotee should not have any of this raga, dvesha, smita, etc. The ego. Yeah, I am better than him, that devotee. That devotee, no, he is cheap. All these ideas of desire, hatred, etc., ego should not be there in the devotee. Another story. Every time I go to Vrindavan, I used to visit this ashram where there will be satsanga when I go. And once this very good person, very good Mahatma, very good sadhu, he was giving a lecture. A very devoted person, very soft, devoted person. Okay. So he was giving a lecture on Ramayana, one part of Ramayana, Sundarakanda or something. So while giving lecture, he was like, Ramji, happy. Then Sundarakanda means Hanuman Sundaram. Hanumanji, very happy. Ravan, not Ravanji, Ravan. And there's a pun intended comment, kind of. A child. Ravan. And the people who are listening to also were looking down upon Ravana. So after his lecture, they asked me to give a bhashana, a small lecture. I said, okay. But everything was fine except this. How can you, a devotee, be seeing duality? One devotee, lesser devotee, another devotee, greater devotee. You cannot have this ego. A devotee is a devotee is a devotee. Over. There is no possibility of higher devotee, greater devotee, lesser devotee, etc. Why I am saying this is, Ravana was the greatest devotee of all. Ravana had permission, appointment every day to visit. He didn't go to a temple to see. Even idiots now, they don't go to temple. But he was traveling from Sri Lanka to Kailasha and was having a direct darshan of Shiva. He was one who pleased Shiva with Samagana. That kind of great devotee, how can you look down upon him and pass a sniding remark? That is wrong. He accepted that. He didn't do that later. The point is, there can be greater, lesser teaching in Vedanta, but there can be no greater, lesser devotee. There is no possibility. Any devotee is a devotee. That you have to understand. Remember. Okay. Now, kṛṣṇāyākliṣṭakāriṇe. But these people who sell Krishna, they, instead of selling Krishna as a object of devotion, they are selling Vedanta also, as it is and all that. Even in Vrindavan, if you want to focus on Krishna, why don't you focus on Krishna's bhakti or Krishna's japa or Krishna's stories? No, they want Vedanta. Why are you interested in Vedanta? Why are you interested in Vedanta? Because your focus should not be there. But they want Vedanta. Why? The problem is they don't believe in the bhakti itself. So, namo vedānta vedyāya. Krishna is a namo vedānta vedyāya. I salute the one who is understood only through the Vedanta. Only through Vedanta you can understand the truth itself. Because the Shruti very clearly says, Satyam jnanam anantam brahma yo veda nihitam guhayam parame vyoman. That Satyam jnanam anantam brahman, one who understands that which is hidden in the heart space, then he experiences everything he gains that bliss absolute. Here, namo vedanta vedyāya, the Shruti very clearly says, Vedanta. What is Vedanta? Vedānta, vabhayora bhedat. There is a statement in Sanskrit grammar, vabha, you can replace it. They are interchangeable. Now, Vedanta means Bhedanta. Vedanta. Vedanta means end of Bheda, duality. Vedanta should bring end to duality and not impose dualities. That is what Vedanta's job is. Because Vedanta is the essence of Vedas, and Vedas don't teach any duality. Therefore, we have to understand Vedanta vedyāya, because the Shruti very clearly says, Tanto Upanishadam Purusham Pruchami. I am asking about the Purusha explained in the Upanishads, the self explained in the Upanishads. That it can be understood only through the Upanishads. Namo vedānta vedyāya. I salute that Krishna, that Brahman, which can be known only through the Upanishads. This Krishna, you can know him through the text, Purana text like Bhagavata, etc. But not the Brahman. So, Brahman, when we say Brahman, Krishna here, we are talking about Nirguna Nirakara, attributeless and formless, not the attributed and with form Krishna. Gurave, he is the Guru. Krishna also is Guru. Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum, it is said. Yes. But here, Sapurve Shambi Guru Kare Nanavacheda, it is said. He is Guru to all the Gurus because he is not limited by time space. Patanjali Yoga Sutra says. That is why we call him Gurave, that Brahman as Gurave. Not to show that this Guru is in every one of us. You just have to understand the Guru in you. No, that is making you an idiot because they don't want you to listen to anyone. Then what is this fellow teaching? If the Guru is in all of you, then why should I listen to you, idiot? There is no point because you are not a Guru. The Guru is inside me. To teach that the Guru is inside you, that is exactly what we are doing. To know that the self, you have to have a Guru. This is a problem with these fellows. buddhisākṣiṇe, he is the sakshi, he is the witness for the buddhi. How can that Krishna be witness for my buddhi? It is impossible. So, who is this Krishna? The self. How is the buddhisākṣiṇe? Annamaya, pranamaya, manomaya, vijñānamaya, anandamaya. There are 5 koshas. And the buddhi, vijñāna is preceded by or inside it there is another kosha which is Anandamaya. Buddhisākṣiṇe. When you say buddhi, an object, sakshya, then you accept the Anandamaya as the sakshi, witness. When you say buddhi as not sakshya, an object of knowledge, then Ananda is the guru, not Anandamaya. So, when you accept the sakshya, the object of knowledge, then there is sakshi, witness, which is something to be witnessed. Then there should be a witnesser. The witness is the Anandamaya kosha. But if you don't accept anything to be witnessed, then the Ananda itself is the only thing, absolute. So, namo vedānta vedyāya gurave buddhisākṣiṇe. I salute to that self, Krishna, one, the Guru, one who is understood only through the Vedanta, one who is the witness for everything. He'll say this. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.